This event celebrates our American democratic tradition and our community's commitment to participation, integration in the political process. The Yemen American Public Affairs Council is a nonprofit organization entrusted to educate, integrate, and advocate on behalf of the general public and specifically those of the Yemen American community. This is done by shaping public opinion through engagement of decision makers in government, institutions, media, and the public at large. I'd like to introduce our speakers for this afternoon. Our keynote speaker is going to be Attorney General Mike Cox. Also, Honorable Wayne County Executive Robert Ficano. Honorable U.S. Congressman John Conyers Jr. Honorable U.S. Representative Carolyn Cheeks Kilpatrick. Honorable Mayor of Detroit Kenneth B. Cockrell Jr. Honorable U.S. Senator Debbie Stabenow. And Carl Myers, Michigan Republican Party Treasurer. Mike Blake from the Obama for America campaign. Judge Charlene Elder. And from the Arab Americans for Obama camp, Rashida Tlaib. I hope I pronounced that correctly. And the endorsement chair for Yapac, Dr. Khalid Chaji. To make this a viable and successful entity, talking about Yapac, the community has gathered a diverse and highly educated and experienced group. We are first, second, and third generation Yemen Americans who represent the Yemen American community. The board is made up of medical doctors, lawyers, engineers, managers, educators, and activists. And yes, even Joe the plumber. But his name is Jamal instead of Joe. I'm sure when my colleagues in Yapac asked me to give the welcoming remarks this afternoon, they must have expected me to break the ice. So we've all heard of left of center, right of center, far right, far left, socialist, recently we've heard. But it was not until I spent a little time on some of this info I found on the net, that I broke it down so we can all understand it a little bit easier. Left of center Democrat. I broke it down so to make you guys understand it the way I understood it, is if you have two cows. So the left of center Democrat, you have two cows, you keep both, and you give free milk to your neighbor. A right of center Republican, you have two cows, you keep both, and you sell milk to your neighbor. A far left Democrat, you have two cows, you keep one, and you give one to your neighbor. A far right Republican, you have two cows, your neighbor has none, that's life. A socialist, you have two cows, the government takes one, and it gives it to your neighbor. A communist, you have two cows, the government seizes both and provides you with milk. An American corporation, you have two cows, you sell one, force the other to produce milk for four cows, and you are surprised when the cow drops dead. And democracy American style, you have two cows, the government taxes you to the point you have to sell both to support a man in a foreign country who only has one cow, which our government gave him. And my style capitalism, the American style capitalism, you have two cows, you sell one, buy a bull, and make a herd of cows. I'd like to now recognize some of the guests that are honoring us by coming here tonight. And I don't want to miss anybody, so I'm going to go down the list. I'm sure I will. If I missed anyone, I'm sure someone will let me know. The first on my list, not in any kind of order, is Honorable Mayor Jack O'Reilly. We also have the Attorney General Mike Cox. Wayne County Executive Robert Ficano. Judge Charlene Elder, who is also the first Muslim circuit court judge. State Rep for the 15th District, Gino H. Polidori. Wayne County Commissioner, 13th District, Gary Warrencheck. And running for Michigan Supreme Court, Judge Diane Hathaway. Running for Dearborn School Board, Amy Blackburn. Judge, 19th District Court, Judge Mark W. Summers. Running for 19th District Court, Candace Ewing Abbott. That's it for me. I hope I didn't bore you guys with any of my jokes or anything. I'll now pass it back to our MC for the night. Thank you very much.
We like to start off with, he's a man that changed our community and works hard to serve our community of Dearborn as one. The junior president of the City of Dearborn City Council for 17 years. He became Dearborn's mayor pro tem in December 2006 following the tragic death of Mayor Geiger. And on February 2007, he was sworn as mayor. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up to Mayor Jack O'Reilly.
Assalamu alaikum. It's a pleasure to be here, particularly because this event celebrates democracy. And clearly, that celebration is evident in the participation that's in the room. The list of speakers today is very noteworthy. We have people from the highest levels in federal government, from state government speaking, and our local government. So this really represents that opportunity of exchange, that opportunity to get information. You know, as we watch the media, we see a lot of things and we have to discern them. We have to figure out how we stand and what we believe of all the things we hear. And so a free press, as we call it, because that's how we describe it, but all the media, whether it's television, radio, print, all of that is the resource that's vital to our democracy. And because that's one of the places that we go to get information, to find out about what's going on. You know, government for us, for all of us, is not a spectator sport. It's something that we have to engage in. And, you know, when we go back, and I know many have heard the phrase that went back to Truman about the buck stops here for the president. But in truth, the buck stops with people going to the polling place. The people who ultimately have control of government are individuals, everybody in this room. And so participation, active participation in voting is the most important thing. And that's why I want to be here supporting Yapac, because I think that it's so important that they get out and reach out to everybody in the community. And everybody here needs to be an agent of that to make sure that people are engaged, are getting informed. And we have wonderful newspapers locally, not only our Dearborn circulation, but we have the Yemen American News, we have the Arab American News. We have a lot of ways that people can get good information, that they can distill the facts. In the end, it's our individual judgment, and that's what makes it great. Because even if we disagree, it's all right. As long as we've worked at getting the information, as long as we've tried as hard as we can to get the truth and understand the facts, and then we make our best judgment, we've done our job. We have participated in democracy. And the key thing is that nobody is ever wrong. Everybody who votes is right, no matter how they vote. And that's the thing we have to remember. And one of the themes that I talk about, and I really can't stress it enough, is I want us in Dearborn to be